What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning John Ryder. Get this. John Ryder believes that Canelo is now in decline. He's past his best. John Ryder branded Canelo Alvarez past his prime after lasting all 12 rounds against the undisputed super middleweight champion. Alvarez claimed a wide unanimous decision victory at Estadio Akron, but could not secure the stoppage he craved during his first outing back in Guadalajara in 2011. That night, he stopped Ryan Rhodes in the 12th round, but despite suffering a heavy knockdown in the 5th, Ryder managed to make it to the final bell. And the Londoner believes that this is proof that the 32-year-old Canelo is now had 63 professional fights, is in decline. Ryder said, "He's very good, but I think he is past his best, but he still had enough in his tank tonight." Why is he past his best? Because he couldn't get me out of there. His plans were to stop me, and he didn't. I know I took a great shot in the 5th round, but I came back swinging and had some good rounds after that. He also added, "I felt it go instantly, and the blood in the back of my throat. It threw me for a couple rounds, but it is what it is. It's a new experience in the boxing ring, and sometimes I'll learn from it. I think it's broken." Okay. If the nose didn't go in the 2nd round, it probably would have been a different fight. Despite the defeat, Ryder earned a lot of respect due to the gutsy nature of his performance. And let me counterpunch. The day is the 7th, okay? 7 years ago, today, Canelo Alvarez knocked out Amir Khan. No big deal, but the Canelo, though, that you knew was at 155 7 years ago. And John Ryder thinks he's past his prime because he didn't get him out of there. I think he is past his prime. I think John Ryder is right, because what Canelo would have done, and I mean the effort and the punch output, would have put Ryder out. The Canelo of 3 years ago even would have taken John Ryder out. He wouldn't have stopped until he did. This Canelo kind of paced himself as though he was like a Anthony Joshua in there and kind of really, picked his shots. Now, what is that from? Is that just from, the mentality? Is the hunger there like it used to? I mean, it could be many factors, but the Canelo I knew would have certainly busted up John Ryder, because John Ryder wasn't putting that much pressure on Canelo to make him think that hard about putting his shots together. So I think that Canelo Alvarez, for the most part, doesn't punch the way he used to. And when you stop punching with that type of consistency, people start to question, is it your stamina? Are you just getting tired? Do you feel yourself getting tired? Is this the old Canelo that should have moved up long ago? Because that was one of Canelo's problems. All that time at 154, knowing he was younger at that time, 2014 was a long time ago. Okay. And Canelo started his Canelo weight at 155. He fought a gang of people at 155, except for Beefy Smith, and he actually had to make weight for 154 to try to convince people that he's not the middleweight, but he had the middleweight WBC strap, right? So, that he took a lashing for that. But the Canelo that came to 160, and he went from 155 to 164.5, fighting that freak fight, as Usyk says, freak fight. I am Phil, with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., right? So, yeah, I mean, he then started experimenting with weights. He went to 160. He did his thing at 160. He went to 168. He unified that. And then that's the best I ever really seen Canelo, to be honest with you. The way his power, carried with up to 168 was definitely impressive. And I'm like, okay, dude, I guess this is home. You know what I mean? But I guess I'm already there, talking heads, right? But I think at the end of the day, Canelo is still good enough to compete. You know what I mean? It's not like he's a Roberto Duran past his prime, or Sugar Ray fighting Hector Macho Camacho. I think he is still a guy that's a force in the division, but you can see that someone hungry enough, someone a little younger, someone a little stronger, I think could probably get Canelo Alvarez another defeat or another L on that record. You know what I mean? I don't know about stopping him, because guess what? That chin is still there, because he took some uppercuts, as you guys seen clips from the Counterpunch cam, you know what I mean, earlier in the video. You know what I mean? And he totally took those shots. That shot that bust his nose. Now he's saying in a second, I thought it was in the fourth. So I was off on that. But at the end of the day, Canelo Alvarez did take some shots from John Ryder, and I never noticed John Ryder to be a pussy. I think he punches pretty hard. He definitely has, the body frame for it. I don't know if the looks is just looks. But, I mean, he can take shots. And then have you ever known Canelo Alvarez to go down to the canvas? No. He has a sturdy foundation, a good chin, but his will is being tested based on the way he fought John Ryder. You know what I mean? So if a guy can say, hey, I think he's past his prime, because he acknowledges that, hey, this guy was a beast before I fought him. I know of that guy that I seen beating guys up, breaking bones when he hits, like Canelo was doing Callum Smith, in which Callum Smith beat John Ryder, right? In a decision, though, mind you. He'd definitely do a number on me, or he should. Look what he did to Rocky Fielding. Better example, when Rocky Fielding beat John Ryder. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of John Ryder saying that Canelo Alvarez in decline right now. He's past his prime right now. Bars. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.